It's a real pleasure to be addressing MTech Europe, a prestigious event here in my hometown of Belfast. It's not a surprise to me that an event like this has come here. I moved to Belfast about 3 years ago, and the reason I did was when I first came here to investigate a hub for green technology. I was immediately struck by the collaborative nature of the city, universities, and industry to come together and try and solve difficult problems. That collaborative spirit is maybe not something we're famous for here, but is really felt when you get groups together, particularly around engineering solutions. I think there's a passion here for trying to work out difficult problems. We're coming here to talk about forging a brighter future. And for me, it's impossible for that not to be really centered around technological solutions for the environmental challenges that we face, something that as an engineer I'm passionate about. I believe that it's one of the times where we can suddenly be really part of a solution, where maybe 20 years ago we were looking to economists and scientists. It really feels like the engineers need to step up now. We've come to a time where we have a real part to play to find the solutions. We've measured the challenges, we've measured the disastrous situation, frankly, we're in, and now we need to come up with solutions. And Belfast is an amazing place to do that. And it's an amazing place for us specifically to bring new technologies to maritime. It has such a proud history, heritage of maritime here, from famous boats like the Titanic, but to mass shipbuilding at vital times in Northern Europe's history. We're using that heritage, that skill set, and marrying it with another really important skill set here in Belfast, and that's the aerospace and computational skills that come with the aerospace sector. The aerospace sector in Belfast is famed for amazing manufacturing techniques, incredible composite engineering skills, and digital twin capabilities that allow them to create new amazing products like the Artemis ships that we hope to see around the world. Artemis Technologies is a company that was born out of racing. We have a racing heritage. And I think that's appropriate for a time when we really are in a race against the challenges of climate change. We are pushing really hard. We are doing everything we can to design viable products that people around the world will want to buy. We need to buy zero emissions products, but it's really important that we want to buy them. That means they need to be made using manufacturing technologies that make it at a price point that makes economic sense, even and as well as environmental sense. The America's Cup world that I come from has always been wind propelled. It's always been using nature to propel these boats at amazing speeds, hydrofoiling above the wind. And so we wanted to take that incredible efficiency that is displayed by these craft and turn it into products that will work for commercial boats, the boats that are really out there polluting heavily. The maritime sector really has to put its hand up and say that it has not been doing a great job over the last 50 years. It's been a big contributor to worldwide emissions. And when I finished my last major race in 2017, the America's Cup in Bermuda, the International Maritime Organization, the IMO, said by 2050 we're going to halve emissions. That was an amazing moment. That was a coming together, an international group, much like we have here at this conference, to say we have a collective responsibility to do something to make a change. That really pricked my ears up because I was there in Bermuda in a boat that was using the wind to go 50 miles an hour. And the only bit of power I had was my puny arms, and I can tell you that wasn't very much. So I realized there was an opportunity to marry these technologies. And so we came together with a consortium, the Belfast Maritime Consortium, to make that a reality. The University of Queen's and Ulster, the real strength in wing manufacturing that Spirit Aerospace have developed here over many years through the Shorts Brothers organization, along really importantly with a fantastic educational system, a Belfast Met College that's training the next generation of talent for businesses like ours to make use of. It really is a hub where things can be done and differences can be made. I've always been a competitive person. I left university in 1998, and instead of my first job being in an engineering factory or in a bank somewhere, it was to go and race in the 2000 Olympics. And I had an 18-month sprint to try and get an Olympic medal. And one thing went to another, and it went well, and I managed to win a gold medal in the 2000 Olympics. It changed my life. It put any work aspirations, maybe that's not the right word, any work commitments on hold for 20 years, where I turned to sport and I competed in 4 Olympic Games and picked up some medals through that time and learned lots of stuff. And probably my biggest lesson was the one Olympics in Athens, where I didn't win any medals. And I didn't win any medals because I had a hangover from 2000. I didn't actually still have a hangover, but I had a mental hangover where in 2000 I forgot how much work and effort had gone in, and I thought that it was talent that had won the day in 2000 for me. And it hadn't been talent, because in 2004, when I thought my talent alone was going to carry it through, I failed miserably. And that was a feeling that I never wanted to ever have again in my life. And everything I've turned to since then, and the people I like to work with, share a common drive and passion to achieve things, and realizing that comes from hard work and collaboration, building teams, and doesn't come from any kind of special God-given right to do well at something. And at that time, I moved to America's Cups and eventually started running America's Cup teams, which is like a Formula One team, the smaller version of, which is very much a collaborative exercise between sports people and engineers. And really, that was an interesting environment. You've got the sports person who's so fiercely competitive. They want to do more and more and more. And actually, the engineers even who join race teams are often have that really competitive drive to them. What I found really important in the teams that we built was to harness that competitive drive, but find the people that were competitive for the team's result and not their own area. They were the talent that I like to work with, who could be passionate about their ideas, their thoughts, their direction. But when we took a different path for areas that were not their specific expertise, very embracing of the new path. They are rare people in the world. People that I find are high drive, high skill, medium ego. There's a lot of that around here. There's a lot of people who have been very well educated and have the skill level, but they're based in a town that isn't necessarily, in a city that isn't necessarily traditionally felt of as a Silicon Valley of the world. And I see that as a real opportunity. I was based in San Francisco with a team for 3-4 years, and I loved it, and there's a great vibrance and a talent, but there's a lot of people who think they've got all the answers. And as I found out in Athens, no one has the answers. You work together, you work hard, and you find solutions. I'm slightly sad that I'm addressing you all here virtually. I'm actually still sailing. I'm at a sailing competition in Sweden, because one of the things I love about conferences, and particularly the MTech Europe setup, is that when talent comes together, great ideas come, good collaborations come, and commercial opportunities, research opportunities, and fertilization of ideas. And I know everyone's going to get a lot out of being together, a little virtually, but again, finally together in person a little bit. And I've certainly struggled over the last 18 months to missing that face-to-face collaboration that really can seed early stage ideas. And so I think to have this MTech Europe in a place is really, really significant. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. As I say, I'm very jealous that I'm missing it. So I hope you enjoy things. I think we really do have an opportunity to forge a brighter future. I think a big part of that can be here in Belfast. So I think the fact that conference is here is indicative of that. Enjoy your time, and I hopefully will meet a few of you in person soon.